professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. This video is about subject Analog and Digital Communication System. So, in the last video, we learned about the various methods of FM demodulation, that are the direct method and the indirect method. So we have gone through the various methods of the direct method. Okay, so now थोड़ी बार रखना है उसे. Hi everyone, this is Kruti Jaipancholi, Assistant Professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. This video is about subject Analog and Digital Communication System. So, in the last video, you learned about the various FM demodulation method, which consists of the direct method and indirect method. In the direct method, we learn about the various four methods. Those are slope detector, balanced slope detector, Foster series phase discriminator and ratio detector. Now today, in this video, we will learn about the indirect method of FM. That is the phase lock loop. Okay, so phase lock loop, what is that? So it's a best frequency demodulator and is an electronic circuit with a voltage current driven oscillator that constantly adjusts to match the phase with the frequency of the input signal. So here we are going to use the PLL. Now the PLL, as we have studied earlier in the videos about the PLL, that it has the three components. Those are the phase discriminator, loop filter and voltage control oscillator. Now the phase discriminator, that is what? Which will compare the phase of the two signals and will generate the voltage according to the phase difference of the two signals. So now here it will compare the voltage given, okay, as an input and the output voltage, output frequency. So according to the frequency, the voltage would be generated and according to that the phase will have loop filter. Here we are going to use the low pass filter. What the low pass filter will do? It will eliminate all high frequency components. So it will suppress all the high frequency component of the phase discriminator and produces the output voltage. Voltage control oscillator, what it will do? It will generate the RF signal. It will generate the RF signal whose frequency that depends on to the voltage generated by the phase discriminator. So this way we have the three components, which is of the PLL. So now here you can see the block diagram of the PLL. What you can see as the input, the FM signal, FM modulated output. Okay, we are giving that FM modulated output to the phase detector or the phase discriminator. Now the phase discriminator, which is having the other output, okay, and that output will come from the VCO. So it will do just the function of the comparator. And this comparator will compare the input from the FM signal and which compare the VCO output. Okay, and based on the comparison, it will produces the error voltage, which is applied to the low pass filter. And this low pass filter will compress all the high frequency component and which will produces the output over here. So this is what the difference between that, and that output will be given as a feedback to this VCO and which will producing the output. So now this is what, so whenever the incoming signal and the output that produces by this, okay, this will same, it will lock at that frequency, and now for that whatever the change in the input frequency that is to be observed, for the same we can have the change in the output voltage. Okay, so this way we have the function, okay, for the phase detector, and what it will do, it will compare the two input signals and generate the output signal, and when the filter will control the VCO, okay, given to the low pass filter. And the low pass filter, what it will do, it will adjust the VCO frequency and in an attempt to correct for the original frequency or the phase difference. So this way we have the output from the phase lock. Look. So as incoming frequency changes, the phase discriminator that generates the voltage to control the frequency and the phase of the VCO. Okay, so this control voltage that varies at the same rate as the frequency of the input signal. So as you are applying the change in the input frequency, you will change in the output signal. So this way we can say that the control voltage that is proportional to the rate of the change in the frequency, input frequency, and this way it can be used as an output. Also the PLL must have a low time constant so that it can follow the modulating signal, okay, free running frequency of the VCO that is set to the carrier frequency of the FM wave. And what is your lock frequency? The lock range, okay, that must be at least twice the maximum deviation of the signal. The linearity that is also governed by the voltage to frequency characteristics of the VCO. Okay, so this way the distortion level of the PLL demodulators are also very low, and we can also say that it's the best demodulation method for generating the modulating signal. So here you can see the reference output, okay, and the PLL output, okay, and the graph that is versus the voltage versus the time, and how we are obtaining the modulating signal in this. Okay, so it is about the method for generating the FM. So this is the end of the generation and the demodulation of the FM. Now, as we know that in a noise produced by the particular system, so the system in the broadcasting that we require, that is more immune to noise, because we know that our target that is to suppressing the noise level. So how do I suppress it? So very first I should have the idea about which kind of the interference that can be there in the angle modulated signal. So interference produced at the radio receivers are: the first is the image frequency, second is adjacent channel interference, third one that is the co-channel interference or the capture effect. One by one we'll see what happened and what is the effect of all this interference, and as how can we say that which system that is more immune to noise. So the image frequency is what? So image frequency, that is the frequency which can be appeared, okay, which is same as the earlier, okay, mean that the 98.3, okay, on that you are listening the radio Mirchi, okay, then at the some other frequency again we are able to listen the radio Mirchi. So what is that? That this is the image frequency. So now this image frequency that can cause the interference in the communication. So what we can do, that we minimize this image frequency by setting the high frequency rejection ratio. Okay, so this way we can reject the frequency. Okay, so what happened? We have only single frequency, and on that the output that can be available. Adjacent channel interference. Morely, this adjacent channel interference, the co-channel interference, this all kind of the interference we observed in case of the mobile receiver. Okay, as we know that the FM has the two advantages, that is the high SNR, better protection against the another interfering signal, okay, and we can have the such kind of the interference that you can see that this is a channel number 1, it is your channel number 3, okay. Now the channel number 1 and channel number 3, now effect of the channel number 1 which will be observed onto the channel number 3, and of the channel number 3 that you have onto the channel number 1. So all that nearby frequency that will affect onto the each other, and that is known, that will create the disturbance, and that kind of the disturbance that we can say as the adjacent channel interference. So FM gives the superior the noise rejection ratio with the AM. Okay, why? Because in the FM there is only change in the frequency, no change in the amplitude. And as we know that the change in the frequency, okay, so that the noise which is the higher amplitude, higher frequency wave, that can be easily differentiated from the FM wave, and we can demodulate it and we can remove it by using the filter. So with the use of the guard band, you can provide the guard band between the two channel, so that what happens? Guard band means the space that you will provide it between the two frequency, in that there is no transmission that has been done. So by providing that kind of the guard band, what happened now? You have a space, okay, so that there is no effect of the one frequency onto the other, and this way we can improve the adjacent channel rejection, okay, and this way the interference that can be also reduced, okay. The another is the co-channel interference, or it is observed as the capture effect. What is that? It occurs when the two or more APs are using the same channel. Okay, so co-channel interference, that is what it is also referred to as a narrow band interference, is due to other nearby systems using the same transmission frequency. Okay, so when the other nearby station using the same transmission frequency, then effect of that frequency onto this frequency will create the co-channel interference. So it is observed when two FM transmitters are operating at the same transmission frequency. As we want to take the advantage of the reuse of the frequency, so that at that time, okay, we have to follow some protocol. After following the protocol of reusing the frequency, we can avoid the co-channel interference. So if the same frequency to be used by the two FM transmitter, then what we can do? Then the co-channel interference that can be occurred, so that the sound distance that would be always required between the two frequency, and that way we can improve it. Okay, so it is about the capture effect, the interference, okay, that could be occurred in the communication. So thank you very much everyone.